Hi there, it's the 13th of March 2014, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about conspiracy theories and who's running the world. Now, there's various schools of thought on who's responsible for the problems of the world, and they come down to sort of things like the Rothschilds have been running the world for generations, and they're behind all the wars and pretty much everything that happens, or the UN, the Club of Rome. There's some kind of secret plan that's been underway for years, and they're behind the problems of the world, or it's both of them, or it's various other groups of people. But really what I want to talk about is that just simply isn't the case. So yeah, is there a secret cabal of evil geniuses somewhere that are really running everything, causing environmental destruction, causing poverty, causing all this stuff? Well, the short answer is no. Now, there certainly are groups of people in influential positions who get together and make decisions about stuff. But what it really comes down to is the question of what their motivation is. And that motivation is always about profit. So it's no surprise that super rich multi-billionaires will all know each other, will have connections. Yeah, the super rich undoubtedly get together and make plans that affect huge numbers of people. And they do this just like any other group of people do. I mean, you might be a model plane flying enthusiast, and I expect you know people all over the country who fly model planes. It's not evidence of a conspiracy in itself. However, what does happen is people act out of self-interest, and I've no doubt that's true of the vast majority of people out there, and it's certainly true of the super rich. They are trying to maintain their power and maintain their standard of living just like everybody else is. They just happen to be a bit more divorced from the realities of how that affects other people. So to put that in simple terms, you may work in a workplace where there's managers, middle managers, and varying degrees of hierarchy, and if you're offered a promotion and you're going to get paid more money, you're going to take it. You're not going to say, oh, but it's not fair on my other workers, they should get more money too, we should all be an equal cooperative. You're not going to do that. You're going to take the job and accept more money, just like the vast majority of people will do. And this is exactly what the super rich are doing. It would be easy to conclude that the super rich, the CEOs of the big corporations, are able to make positive changes, but for some reason they choose not to. And I think, they do choose not to, but it's not quite that simple. Those at the top, let's say you take the CEO of a big corporation, if he suddenly decided, or she suddenly decided, that he or she was going to behave ethically and stop putting profits first, then all that's going to happen is they will lose their job and someone else will take their place. So this isn't just a problem that's in the hands of a few individuals, but ultimately what we have is a system that is dependent on the drive for profit, and what this has created, and is quite apparent in the modern world, is corporations, huge corporations, that through a kind of process of evolution have ended up just trying to control everything. And as I said, the food of corporations is profit. That's all they exist for, and it's short-term profit. But yeah, the truth is no one's in control, it's out of control, and ultimately we're all culpable in this. And there's very few people on this planet who aren't trying to get a little bit extra slice of the pie for themselves. And this is ultimately what the problem really is. To quote Derek Jensen, the way he describes this situation is, you can get two people who buy an acre of forest. One person has bought that acre of forest in order to preserve it and keep it in its natural state and keep it wonderful, and the other person's bought that another acre of forest with good intentions, and but then they start looking at it and they look at the timber on it and they sort of think, well, if I sold all the timber on this land, with the money I could buy myself 4 acres of forest. And so you have this process where those who exploit are those who are rewarded. Yeah, by the time you've got rich people owning nearly all the forest and just a few less rich people owning small patches of forest, then those who own the huge pieces of forest have much more influence, and they can start to influence governments, and they can start to undermine those who own the last bits of forest. And the drive for profit is relentless. It keeps on going. This is not the work of individuals sitting there making plans. This is the work of a profit-driven system. And this profit-driven system is without ethics except for one, which is to make profit. That is the only thing that matters. There's no morality, no humanity, no caring about the environment, no caring about poverty, no caring about people dying. If they can get away with it and it makes a profit, they're going to do it. And this is what's happening the world over in so many different areas. It's what's destroying the environment, it's what's keeping people in poverty, it's what causes wars. There's pretty much no problem in this world that you can follow back to its source without finding some corporate entity at the bottom of it trying to make money.